Hey everybody, this is Jamie Casarda here, your holistic pet mentor, and this fall has been an itchy time for a lot of our pets. Now, Buddha Kitty is very fortunate he doesn't have any kind of itchy skin conditions, but I know a lot of you have dogs who are really suffering in the fall, and the question is why? Why? And so I wanted to give you guys some tips to help you deal with this more naturally. A couple things that you want to do is you want to, first of all, approach it from a holistic point of view. I'm looking at what's in their environment, what type of things is their skin getting in contact with. Our skin is the biggest organ in our body. And so when your dogs are on the floor or on the furniture or they're outside in the lawn, think about the things that they're coming in contact with. And it's not just the allergens that we're concerned with, it's what type of chemicals were put on the lawn, what type of cleaning agents are you using in the home. So you may have seen in the last couple of weeks, I've been posting some things about cleaners and making the switches, switching out your Clorox and your Lysol to something homemade and a natural all-purpose cleaning spray, or switching out your Febreze to making your own misting spray using essential oils and some distilled water. Really simple, inexpensive ways to keep your home smelling fresh and clean and keep everything disinfected without having to use those harsh chemical cleaners that over time our poor pets are building up these chemicals on their skin, and it's sitting on their fur. And we don't bathe our pets every day, and so it can irritate their skin over time. So that could be a cause. There's lots of things that could be a cause. So let's just make sure that we're addressing these simple things that we have control over. So making sure we're switching to natural cleaners is one way. Another trigger that can make our dogs and cats super itchy, especially during seasonal changes, is their food. So you think, well, they eat the same food all the time, Jamie. I mean, why is it a problem? Well, if there are certain allergens in the environment that they're sensitive to, if they were on a raw diet, they may be less reactive to those allergens. It may just be that straw that broke the camel's back. So if they're on a dry kibble diet, their immune system's already going to be on high alert. They're going to have a lot of inflammation already. You may not see it externally yet, but I can tell you with dry kibble, it does create inflammation in their body. It's just, unfortunately, that's the way it is. That's just how their bodies respond. They can't handle the amount of carbohydrates that are pumped in to keep dry kibble together and sticky. And there's a lot of end products when you cook food at high temperatures for long periods of time. So those are things that can create inflammation in their body. And so then when they're exposed to different pollens in the fall, they can then start to react again, just like us people. They mimic a lot of our health issues, right? So let's just make sure that we're feeding them a diet that is going to keep the inflammation low in their body. So what are some ways we can support healthy digestion and making sure that they're filtering out things in their environment, things that they're eating, and that they're getting them moving through their digestive tract. Also, another thing that we want to make sure is that we are doing things to promote healing in their gut. So just like people, our pets can have digestive damage. They can get reflux just like we do. They can get ulcers just like we do. They can get leaky gut just like we do. And that happens from eating foods that have a high chemical burden. So it can also happen from the chemicals we put on them or that they're exposed to. It can happen from over-vaccination as well. So we want to just take all these things into consideration, and let's focus on healing their gut. So here's a tip on ways that we can help support healthy digestion in their pets. Maybe moving them to a raw diet isn't something that you're able to fit into your budget right now. I know people who have like 10 or 15 pets that they're taking care of, and they have a heart for animals, and they really want to do their best and love on their fur babies. So I totally get it. So I suggest that if you are feeding a dry kibble, that you add in some fresh food as you can, whether it be a little bit of coconut oil, some pureed vegetables, dark greens like spinach, or adding a superfood called spirulina. It's a dark green algae and it's very detoxifying. You can sprinkle that on their food. I like to, for itchy dogs, I like to add some digestive enzymes to their food. This is one way to get it. If you get doTERRA products, you can actually use Terrazyme for your dogs. For cats, you'll have to get a digestive enzyme from another company. I like to use Dr. Mercola. They have digestive enzymes for cats, and so does Adored Beast. So they have some digestive enzymes that you can use for cats. The reason you can't use Terrazyme for cats is because it has some peppermint infused in these enzymes. And so we want to make sure that we don't deter our cats from eating their food that it just may be too minty for them. So some cats may not mind it, but I would say just go and try to get them from Dr. Mercola or from Adored Beast, because those are pretty reputable sources for your pet products as well. All right, so digestive enzymes, if they're on a dry food or if they're having any kind of digestive issues, those enzymes are going to help them break down their food, and it's going to help their gut heal and start that process. Another thing we can do for our itchy dogs, hey Tabitha and girlfriend, I know you've dealt with this for years. You could probably do this talk. Adding some citrus oil in their water, 1 drop, big bowl of room temperature water. I used a ceramic dish for my dogs. You can use stainless steel. You can use a glass bowl, heavy duty glass bowl. Just 1 drop, room temperature water. Every time you refill that bowl, doesn't matter the size of your dog. Smaller dogs are going to drink less. That bowl's going to last longer. Larger dogs, you're going to be changing that bowl out a little more frequently. But you can use some lemon oil, which will just help their bodies detoxify and get those the pollen moving through their body. So those are little things. Another thing that I'm so excited for this tip, to help heal their guts and to support healthy liver function, because a lot of times our dogs, their livers are just so burdened from eating dry kibble all their life. We do all the good things. We thought we were doing all the good things, right? We did all the vaccines. We used the chemical spot-on products every month faithfully. We did the heartworm, we give them that heartworm pill every month. I mean, I really thought I was doing the right thing for my dogs. And then I would see these chronic illnesses in these pets where the pet parents were doing all the right things that they were being told to do, and it's not your fault. And I think, we're just doing the best we can with the information that we have. So now that we know better, and we know that these things can cause damage to their digestive tract, that can create chronic inflammatory illnesses like allergies and gosh, I'm seeing a lot of Cushing's. I see pets with Cushing's disease and kidney failure and liver problems and endocrine problems. Like, we're just seeing the whole gamut. And it's not just old age. Old age isn't a disease. So it's liver function, it's kidney function, it's making sure their digestive tract is working properly. It's making sure that we're decreasing toxin load, and we're improving their nutrition based on their biological requirements, not based on what's convenient for us, right? So we can do an essential oil remedy to help support and encourage the healing of the mucosal lining in their digestive tract. And how I like to do that for pets is I like to make a spray blend. Hi ladies, thanks for joining me. I like these 2 oils. I'm so excited. We got celery seed last month, and this essential oil is great at promoting the healing of the mucosal lining through the digestive tract. So you want to make a spray bottle, use a 2 ounce spray bottle, and I would do 10 drops of copaiba. And the reason I like to use copaiba, it actually helps the liver function better. So it improves liver health. And so this is a great one for the unhealthy inflammatory response as well. And you can spray this over the kidneys and the liver area on your dog or cat. So this is for both dogs or cats. So I would use, in a 2 ounce spray bottle, I would use 10 drops of copaiba, and I would use 10 drops of celery seed. And then you can either top it off the whole way with fractionated coconut oil, or you can use half distilled water, half fractionated coconut oil. But just make sure, and I use distilled water, make sure that you shake it up really well before you apply it topically. The reason I would add some distilled water is so that it's not so greasy when it sits on their fur. They're still going to look like grease balls, but it'll be worth it in the long run because we're promoting the healing of their gut lining, and that is a good step in helping your pets become less itchy for a lifetime. So like I said, 10 drops of this, 10 drops of celery seed, top it off with fractionated coconut oil and some distilled water, shake it up real well, apply it to their abdomen and to their lower back where their kidneys are. And so that will encourage proper detoxification and also help their gut lining. If your animal has reflux, just like people can, if you notice that your dog or cat throws up their food as soon as they eat it. I've heard this problem. Hi, Monica. Thanks for joining me. You can actually spray that blend on their throat as well to help promote that lining so that there's a good balance there. All right. And so one more thing before I end this broadcast, because I got to go get my kids off the bus. But I want to mention probiotics. Bacteria it runs the show in our bodies. So if our pets have had damage to their microbiome, which is a family of bacteria and fungi and protozoa and viruses that are living in hopefully harmony in their digestive tracts and in our digestive tracts, we want to make sure that there's a proper balance in there and that we have more good guys in their gut than there are the pathogens that are causing all kinds of problems. Some of those pathogens that can be a problem is candida, these bad yeast that get in there, and that's from using pesticide products, feeding them dry kibble, or if they've ever been on antibiotics, then they're going to have an overgrowth of yeast. That's just the side effect from taking anything that has antibiotic properties, or if you've used a lot of cleaners around them, it's going to damage their microbiome. So make sure that you are promoting good gut health by adding some probiotics to their diet. So there's one that I love to give Buddha. I actually sprinkle this on his raw food to make sure there's a lot of good bacteria in there. And it's this is Dr. Mercola. This one's for dogs or cats, and I just put half a scoop each time I feed him. And sometimes I forget, I'll be honest. So this one's lasted me a long time. But as long as you're getting some good bacteria in there, you're going to be doing something good for their digestive tract, which is going to help in the long run with those itchy symptoms, if this is immune related, okay? And just make sure it's not fleas creating the problem. That's an easy fix. You know, you can treat your yard with some diatomaceous earth. You can use these neat little things called beneficial nematodes that you spray on your yard with water. And they don't harm your pet, they don't harm you, but they actually eat little critters like fleas, and they live in the soil. So they're actually our friends and allies in getting rid of fleas in the yard. But diatomaceous earth is real easy. Use food grade. You can also use essential oils topically on your pet. You make a spray blend, and I have lots of recipes posted in the picture section. I also did a whole week-long video series on natural flea and tick control in the home holistically, and you can check that out if you scroll through the videos. It was probably a couple years ago. So hopefully, hey Monica, thanks. Hopefully you guys can find that. If you have any problems finding it, just let me know. I can help tag you, help bring it back to the top there. All right, everybody, have a great day. I hope this information helps you guys with your itchy dogs. I feel for you. I'll tell you, I've employed these techniques with my own pets. I've never seen a hot spot on my pets, never. I've never had dogs with allergies, never had cats with allergies. So just, I know that feeding a more natural diet makes a huge difference. And I've got to help a lot of people who are willing to work with me to help reverse some of the damage that has been done over the years when they tried to help their pet using medications. And don't beat yourself up, okay? Because we've all done it, and we're all learning a better way to take care of our pets. And I'm just grateful that you're here. And let me know if you have any questions or if I can be of service to you. All right, everybody, have a great night. Bye.